Hello, hello, hello. Happy New Year. Sorry I haven't been on here in quite some time. I have been dealing with the holidays and the health and all that stuff. So we've been a little absent through the holidays with our girlfriend chat. But here we are, and we're going to talk about New Year's resolution as we wait. Here she is. As we wait for some people to pop in, like Adio.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
You sound way too chipper.
Oh my God. I got some tea in me with sugar because my 24 hours is up. So, for all of you signing in, I was on a 24-hour fasting fun. And so I just finished and made a sweet tea.
I
And I
have my
feel,
green tea without honey. Yum.
oh no, no honey for you?
Not right now. I just
Mm.
ate like 20 million chocolates. Not gonna lie.
Wow. What kind? I'm jealous.
I just no, it wasn't even that good. I just needed something sweet, and
Mm.
it wasn't that great. Just the regular Hershey Kisses, which I don't really like.
Oh no. Well, if you're logging in, say hi. Tell us you're here. Say hello, hello, hello. You can make comments on the feeds that you're watching from. So here we are, Tammy and Olinda. We're going to talk about what? We're gonna we're gonna talk about resolutions. Something Olinda and I have never done.
And that's why I just had chocolate.
It's so much fun though to talk about. I have this stupid thing on my seat that's like a massage thing, but it's so uncomfortable to sit in just to sit in. So pardon me while I just
What is your t-shirt?
oh, it's a girl with the Chanel symbols. I'm in my sweats. I did not get. I threw a wig on and I threw a little lip gloss on, and that's how I got ready for today because I was not getting all glammed up.
You did more than I did, so don't worry.
Not.
I was just laying down with the dog and went, "Oh crap! Look what time it is!" And I got up and turned on the thing.
That's pretty much what I was doing. I was running down the hall. Oh my god, I have to go pee. So anyway, I titled our talk "She Resolves." It is like a sauna in this room. I can just tell you, it's 20 degrees outside. I don't know why this room is so darn hot, but it
And I'm
is.
freezing.
Oh my god, it's so hot in here. Anyway, let's say hi to everyone. Hi, my sisters in chat. Welcome to She Resolves, the podcast where we dive into delightful chaos of the New Year's resolutions, unraveling the tales of triumphs and tribulations that make the annual tradition uniquely ours. I'm your host, Tammy, and host, Olinda. We're so excited to embark on this journey of self discovery and growth with all of you fabulous ladies out there. As we kick off the new year, we're a little late because we just been too busy.
And sick.
Been busy. Olinda's been sick with COVID for 20, how many days? 22?
21 days today.
21 days. She went to work today, but ugh. And then we have me with all of my pain and all of the holidays. It was just chaotic. I didn't think it was quite on par to do the girlfriend chat through the holiday. So here we are, a little bit late on the New Year's, but I came up with some history that I never knew, and probably Olinda has heard of it, but I have not. Did you know that the history started back in with the Babylonians?
See, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they said to have been the first people to make New Year's resolutions 4,000 years ago. They were the first to hold recorded celebrations in honor of the new year, which actually began in mid March, not January. So it was mid March, and that's because they finished all their planting of their crops and then celebrated. And so that was their new year beginning. And it was a 12-day religious festival known as Akitu. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but it's Akitu. So that's when they crowned a new king. They reaffirmed their loyalty to the reigning king. They made promises to the gods to pay their debts and return any objects that they borrowed, all during that time. If the Babylonians kept their work, their pagan gods would bestow favor on them for the coming year. And that's how it all began.
Oh.
And then it changed to January 1 because of Julius Caesar. He established January 1 as the beginning of the new year in the circa 46 BC. So since he took over, he decided March, mid-March was not okay.
Well, because the Ides, beware the Ides of March. That's when he was killed.
See, I knew you'd have input.
I had to throw that in there.
And there you go. I didn't know that. I guess I did know that, but I didn't relate it. So it says,
of course, he didn't know that at the time, but
yeah, right. Janus, the two-faced god whose spirit inhabited doorways and arches, January was significant to the Romans. They believed that Janus symbolically looked backwards into the previous year and ahead into the future year. And the Romans offered sacrifice to the deity and made promises of good conduct for the coming year. So 46 BC.
wow.
And then the early Christians had a part in it in the 1700s. The first day of the new year became the traditional occasion for thinking about one's past mistakes and resolving to do better in the future. So, it goes all along with all the Bible and, all that stuff. And so in 1740, the English clergyman, John Wesley, founder of Methodism, created the covenant renewed service, commonly held on New Year's Eve or day, known as the Watch Night service. And they sang hymns and read scriptures and served as a spiritual alternative to the ruckus celebrations normally held to celebrate the coming of the new year. So they were in the church trying to ignore all the things, all the fun things going on, all the paganistic things going on the outside.
I think I'd rather be outside. No.
Yeah, wouldn't we all? So popular today, evangelical Protestant churches, especially in the African American denominations and congregations, watch night services are still held on New Year's Eve and are often spent praying and making resolutions for the coming year. So they still do it in some of the churches. So then it's like I'll just tell you my story. Like everyone, I thought maybe I should be optimistic and have a fresh start and think about what things bother me about myself and resolve to be better. Maybe was the big key word. Maybe I should, but will I really? Kind of sounds stupid. That kind of mindset. That's how I've always looked at it. It's like, well, I could improve on myself, but am I really going to make the time for it? I mean, let's be realistic. The physical therapist assigned me that 5-minute workout to do every other day. Asked me if I did it every other day. 5 minutes. No. I sat there and just worked and went, I'll get to it. And then it's like, oh, I'm too tired now. So I probably did it 5 of the 14 days.
Yeah.
I mean, it's terrible. But I also
did 4 more than I would have.
But I did things like go shopping. That nearly killed me. And so that counted as an exercise to me because that was longer than 5 minutes. I did that twice, and I went on a 1/4-mile walk. I did it, 7 days out of the 14. I did something, but mostly I just sit and complain about how bad I feel. And so, there's this huge long list that you go, well, I could do this and I could do that. And most of my life, I stayed fit, right? I exercised until I got sick, and now it's like a random exercise thing. But I still go try and walk and all that stuff. I try to stay healthy. I did all the career things. I did all the mom things. I did all that stuff. So it's like, what am I going to do to add to all that crap? That's basically why I never made a resolution. It's like, frick, I got enough things on my plate every day. Then I got to remember to do this to make myself feel better about what?
Yeah.
I don't want to. It's the same thing with Lent. I don't want to give up chocolate. I don't want to give up my coffee.
Well, it's funny you brought that up because I was thinking with Lent now, like the one thing they were saying instead of giving up something is to like try to do something better. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so instead of saying, okay, I'm not going to swear for the next month, it would be, it would be like, okay, instead of swearing, I will, you know what I mean? Or like look to the better side of it than the, so
Yeah.
more like, I guess, a New Year's resolution of I'm going to change and do this
Yeah.
instead of I'm not going to do this
Yeah.
because I don't know.
It's just really
Yeah,
hard,
I'm
right?
just I end up doing neither. So
I know, and then it makes you feel bad about yourself.
that's
It's
why I
like,
don't make them. If I don't make a promise, I don't have to worry about not keeping it.
I don't have to feel bad about myself. It's like, but that's what it was, right? It's like I just never went through with it because I thought, well, this is kind of silly, and then I'm gonna feel, and it's gonna put pressure on me to do something else, something more, and I already have full days, and it's like, I guess I could do it, but and I just don't.
I think we do stuff like this though, like more often than we think. I mean, I'm constantly, and you are too, we're constantly looking at ways to better things and better ourselves. And how could I change this? How could I do this?
Yeah.
I mean, my gosh, I've been teaching for 20 years and I still go, okay, how can I redo that? Or how can I do something different? Like, it amazes me, like, how teachers have like all their lesson plans and then they keep it the same the next year and they keep it like, I am constantly like getting rid of it and doing it again and changing things and and I see you doing that all the time with everything. So
that's how Paul is too. He changes it up and switches it up. He doesn't sit on his laurels and just keep it the same and just
keep it stale.
Yeah, and it's that way, I think, pretty much with life when you're evolving anyway. You're always trying to improve. Because like if I had to if somebody said, I don't care, you got to pick a New Year's resolution, what's it going to be? It would probably be to go back in time and be a little less crazy.
Right, exactly.
It's like be more like Christina says, be more like Antio, like, Mom, don't sweat the things that don't matter, because I have this thing, and it was because it was instilled in me as a child, but both my mothers and my father, they all were like, clean, 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 clean. Everything must be clean. Everything's in its place. There was no like stuff everywhere. And so I just inherited all that crazy. So if I could say, what New Year's resolution would I do? I'm actually getting better at it because of my health, but it's like I would let go of the stress of trying to make everything look perfect. So when you had someone pop in, you know what I would do? I'm popping in. I like running around going, talking to him as I'm putting things away because I'm embarrassed if there's, stuff out. And it's like, I can't just sit there and enjoy their company. I have to be doing.
Right. And then that makes them feel uncomfortable because you're doing that. And they feel bad that they just popped in.
Yep. And it's like, I just have to be more relaxed. I just have to just go with the flow and just enjoy people.
I know. I'm always thinking, oh my God, but if somebody ever popped in, and then I started thinking, the only people that would ever pop in is somebody that hopefully knows me well enough to not really care.
Yeah.
So, I'm like going, when was the last time somebody really popped in? I think it happened once in the last like 10 years where I was like, oh my God, I don't really know these people and they just popped in. Other than that, it's usually like, oh yeah, seen it, whatever, move that around, come sit down, grab your own coffee and sit,
Take it one step further. No, don't call the EMTs. The house is a mess.
Yeah, really. The body's been found. I'm right here. Don't worry, guys. I'm still breathing.
Yeah, so that's my story. It's like, I wish I just didn't stress out about appearances. The same thing with like, I wish I could be like every one of my daughters and just go out without makeup on. They just put their hair in a messy bun or throw a ball cap on or don't put it at all up, whatever they're feeling. They go out in their athletic wear. They go out in their like I wouldn't go out in this t-shirt, but I'm online with it on. But it's like, I would, it's just like, I just need to be more like my daughters. They're all pretty laid back, and
I've gotten better since I got older, only because I'm allergic to everything. Not because I really don't care. Yeah. It's because I really don't have the choice. Like last time I tried to put on any foundation, I broke out in hives. So it kind of makes you go, well, I guess I'm not wearing makeup anymore. But it's definitely like I still have to wear my mascara though, because otherwise my eyes look mousy.
Yeah.
But you know me from before. Oh my God. I think maybe too, it's a different time. Like I love that girls don't care as much. Like even I'm noticing, remember when we were talking about like the different socioeconomic like things
Yeah.
you can tell like who wore what.
Yep.
But now I'm seeing that in general, girls aren't wearing a lot of makeup, young girls.
No, they're just
I mean,
really,
we had like full face
yeah.
back in the day.
Oh
Well,
my
that was
God, the
80s.
cat eyes and
Full face, full hair.
big hair. Yeah, I had on a wig yesterday and the hair was so big it made me uncomfortable. I was like, well, that's unusual. I used to love big hair.
Yep.
And now it's like, oh, that feels so weird.
And
But
it's funny. And I see somebody now with a full face of makeup, and I'm like, ugh, that just looks awful. It looks like armor, like it's like, how can they breathe with that crap all on their face? Like,
yeah, I don't wear foundation because I don't like the way it feels.
yeah.
But I do the concealer in all the right spots. So, well, that's the journey of New Year's resolutions. It's like a self-improvement, but it isn't always a straight line. That's just, I guess, what people are looking for, right? They're looking to do better, be better, and we are human, so we sway in and out of that resolution. So,
I'd like to
what
hear who's actually kept a resolution and what's the longest they've kept it for.
I would too. I want anybody who's on to send it in chat and tell us, did you do a New Year's resolution? What was it? How long did you keep to it? Do you do it every year? Are you like a diehard
I'd be quite
resolution?
impressed.
Yes, because we
I
have.
haven't.
So Olin and I've been friends, like I say all the time, over 40 years. We're really getting up there.
Thanks.
And so I think 45 years.
Stop.
And so we know, that the ins and outs of each other, but you guys don't. So let's put Olinda's toes in the fire. If you were to make a resolution, what area would you think would be where it would take place?
Well, I mean, there's the obvious, the weight and the looks, but honestly, I'm getting away from like when we were talking about, you're old. You're not going to look good no matter what. Like be honest, things are going to sag whether you're skinny, you're big, or whatever.
I have to elaborate on that for 1 second. So hold your thought where you're going, because when you said you're old and it's just the way it's going to be, right? I had no wig on and my hair is graying and curling and really out of control. And Trev said something to me, and he goes, "Mom, why are you even wearing the wig?" And I go, "Well, I don't want to look ugly." And he just went, and like that. And I was like, "What does that mean?" It's like, what? I have no choice. You're gonna look ugly no matter what.
Ship is sailed, Mom.
I was too shocked by his body language that I was speechless.
I hope he was thinking, who cares? You're not gonna be ugly no matter what.
Yeah. Like, who cares, Mom? It is what it is. That was the kind of look I got, and I was like, well, geez, thanks. So tell me, beside the obvious that all women want to do, change their appearance.
I would think it would be more like kind of like what you said. So more of like, I guess, finding like a balance. Like I like the whole idea. What did I read where like, so your days kind of split up in 8, 8, 8. So 8 sleeping, 8 is like working, but the other 8 should be more yours. Yeah. And I don't make it mine. You know what I mean? Like, even though I don't do a lot, I'm resting or I'm like doing whatever, like I feel like I'm not really very thoughtful on how I spend my 8.
Yeah.
So I think I would be more thoughtful on how I spend the rest of my time, because it's really like when you start thinking, like, really, maybe I may. I mean, most people only have like about 15, 16 more years from us. And
Yeah.
that's it.
That's
Now,
scary.
so I mean, in a good day, we'd have 20.
Yeah.
And I think back and I'm like, well, what do I want to do with those 20 years? So I think I'd be more mindful of how I actually spend my time. I want to make, so I don't really care about my looks, but I do care about being healthier,
Yeah.
being more mobile. Remember when we were saying, like,
Yeah.
we don't want people to have to do everything for me. Like, I want to
Yeah.
be self-sufficient.
Yeah. That's where I'm at right now with my health, and my inability to move much
Mm-hmm.
is scaring me because I spent
Mm-hmm.
that 2.5 years in the wheelchair. I don't want to go back to it. And
Yep.
so I'm like, really, please, 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 um, listen to these, these prayers and everything that I'm feeling, because I don't want to be immobile.
Yeah.
That's why, I am determined to push myself and try and keep the bones developing because they're so bad,
Yep.
but it sure is hard. And so, I'm pretty good about making sure I'm doing the walks and everything to a point that probably I shouldn't be pushing that hard, but I'm with you. It's like I want to make the most out of every day because my days are just so consumed with these thoughts that I want to erase them. I don't want to go, I'm in pain, I'm in pain. I just don't, I don't want to do that. So I want to find things that are more pleasant and not like my nose to the grindstone every second, every day, like I am right now.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm building and trying to create, is this evergreen life where my systems are running itself, and then I can pamper myself more if I even know how to do that.
Yeah. And I also think, like, I don't want to wait. Like, being a teacher, you're very much into, okay, all right, well, if I can just get to this break and
Yeah.
then this weekend and,
Yeah.
spring break. And then if I can get to summer. And then when we were talking, 3 years from now, I'll be where I need to. And I'm
Yeah.
like, you know what? You can't
Yeah.
keep doing that. Like, you have to do something. I like the way they were like 8, 8, and 8. It's like,
Yeah.
you have to do something with your 8 now.
Yeah.
Don't wait for tomorrow. Like, I have to. So I told Jenna too. I was like, Jenna's my daughter, for those of you who don't know. Like, each day you have to do at least one thing for yourself, just for you.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it can't involve somebody else, or it
Yeah.
can't be for somebody else if it's for you as well. So in
Yeah.
other words, like, sometimes what really makes me happy is doing something for somebody else, because it just brings up my mood and brings up, you know what I mean? Like, it makes me
Yeah.
feel good about myself, makes me feel good about the situation,
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it can be something like that, but it has to be something that actually is going to be good for
It serves
you.
your soul.
Yes.
Feeds
Yes.
your soul. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's why, I need to spend my summers with you.
That's right. Well, I guess we could do a New Year's resolution if we just said we're going to be more mindful
Yeah.
of spending quality time for us to help
My
us with our soul, body, whatever.
my kids died laughing because sometimes the things that come out of my mouth aren't exactly what I meant, and so they sound really bad.
No, not you. I don't believe
And so the one thing I said yesterday was, because Trevor, we were talking about relaxing, and I don't have time. I have to do this. I have to do that, and maybe in a little bit, that kind of thing. And so I said I had that time set aside to relax on the beach with Auntie O for 2 weeks by myself, and Dad was coming home, and Grandma had to go and die. My mother-in-law, she's up there. She's laughing her head off. She knows.
Sorry to inconvenience you, Tammy.
Yeah, she's like going, I'm so sorry, but that's really funny, huh? She ruined my rest and relaxation that I finally put aside for myself and I didn't get. But yeah, so no, we're gonna make that resolution every summer. Even Paul has agreed. Every summer we will be there, and I'm staying longer. So let's reflect on lessons from failures. So we don't need failed resolutions to understand life happens, right? And that it has us veering slightly off course from time to time. It happens to the best of us. We talked a little bit about, let's dive into the silver lining of failures. Sometimes they lead us to unexpected victories. You can relate to that even if you don't make resolutions. Sometimes failed relationships or careers, they all lead us to better things. And when we're in the moment, we don't see it, but later on we go, that just like the song, thank God for unanswered prayers, because save me from that one, that kind of thing. And so it's kind of a cool thing to look at your failures as successes as well, like to not like just carry your head low and think about them as that word is a negative connotation, failure. What does that mean? But it's like failure makes you look deeper into yourself, makes you think about, is that really, a failure? Is that a good thing that happened? Because that job didn't happen, but now I got a better job, or that relationship I thought was the one, and
where you need to be.
Turned out exactly. I love that saying. I say it all the time. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. And I say it to the kids all the time. And I go, I know it doesn't make you happy right now in the moment, but this is where you're supposed to be. And I promise you'll grow from it and it'll be better. And Kylie always says, yeah, you always promise me it'll get better. It'll get better. It'll get better. It'll get better. And people were just, it was difficult. It didn't get better right away, but she's so successful and doing so well that all those failures fed her soul and made her so determined to be the best Kylie she could be. And, it's really cool. It's really cool. I can say that about all my kids. It's really cool to see how they progress through their challenges, right? And you too. It's like, it's so fun to watch their growth. And then you think about yourself and you go, where do I come into that? Because I never look at myself like I look at my children.
Yeah.
Because I look at my children like they're like the best thing ever. And I'm always like so excited to talk about them. But I don't talk about myself like that ever. I just don't. But statistics say that failures for New Year's resolutions is kind of like, whoa. 39% of adults set a goal of improving their fitness. 81 feel that improving their mental health is the most important. 81%. 30% of adults think getting a handle on their finances is a great resolution.
One, yeah.
Right? All those are the three main: the fitness, mental health, and finances, right? And then improving their social life, they talk about 12% want to become closer to their family, 11% want to have better relationships with their friends, and 9% want to spend more time with their friends. That's me. Let's see how many New Year's resolutions come true. Making sure your goals for the new year come true requires dedication. How many resolutions come true? Not very many.
Not very many. I was going to say there can't be very many.
9% of adults keep their resolutions all year long. 9%. Shame on us.
I was surprised it's even that high.
On the other end of the spectrum, 80% of New Year's resolutions are forgotten by midwinter. They completely out of their brains.
Winter
I forgot
sucks.
I even made it.
That's why. By the time you're just lucky to get through winter, let's be honest.
Yeah. And then 23% of them quit the first week of the year. Right. Don't even finish the first week. 52% of goal setters plan on using external sources to keep them accountable, like apps and stuff. Yeah. But 59% of the men rely on that method, where 50% of women will. 85% of people resolutions believe the impact will extend beyond a single year, but they don't. And why don't they? Why don't they stick to them? It's like pure motivation. I'm like, it's like,
I think they pick the wrong ones, or they don't word it right, or they don't, you know what I mean? They're too like, I'm going to lose 50 pounds this year. Like, don't do that.
Too big of a goal.
I'm going to get more mobile, or I'm going to, you know what I mean? Yeah. Get away from these stupid whatevers that, like, I think we just focus on the wrong things.
Well, they say too, it's all in how we speak to ourselves.
Right.
So it's just like you
Mm.
said, it's like instead of going, I'm going to lose 50 pounds, and then you're like, when is this 50 pounds going to come off? And then you're playing mental games with yourself the whole time, and then you're defeated. But it's so I never ever played into this, but I think it's kind of true because I've been reading that book, How to Change Yourself, and it's it's all weird that it's connected to the universe pretty much. It's like energy. It's the energy you put out is the energy you receive. And I've had friends who are very Christian who and other people, we won't say names or anything, say that well that is weird because it doesn't fall within, the religion. And I
Yeah.
was like, I don't know what is true, of course. I'm not a well versed biblical person or science for that matter, but I have to believe that it's negative talk. And whether it's coming from you or somebody close to you, it's still negative talk that you're receiving.
Yeah.
So if that's what you're doing constantly to yourself, then you will quit because you're,
Well, they say like all the negativity is going to
yeah,
bring you down.
it's
You've
the
got to
energy you
bring
put out is the energy you
positive.
receive. Yeah.
Yeah. And to surround yourself with positive.
So,
And that doesn't mean like, I mean, you and I whine to each other,
yeah,
but we whine to each other, we
we're
laugh
our
about it,
soundboards. Yeah,
and we keep on going.
exactly. We have no other
Yeah, I
choice.
feel like crap too. Great.
Yeah.
Well, now moving on.
Misery loves company. Yay. But the
I
doctor,
think a lot of it is like seriously like a sense of humor and being able to.
yeah, I think laughter is huge when you're going through trying stuff. And, so I have to talk. So one of my doctors gave me this free thing, and then you pay for the service after. And it's an app, and it's called Curable.
Mhm.
And it is for people in chronic pain, and you go through this app, and it's kind of like a site map, right? You can write, or you can talk, or you can talk to somebody, or you can write about it on yourself, or you can do these little lessons and blah blah blah. So I started writing yesterday, and I wrote on my computer, and they said, do you want to submit your work? And I said no. But it's like, because it's like it was just getting it off my chest, that assignment that I said I didn't want to do, the one I told you about.
Yeah.
And so I did it, and it took a lot longer than 30 minutes because it was very emotional. And I was sitting there, and they were talking through the app. There's this little avatar that talks to you, and she was talking about everything that we feel and say, whether we say it out loud or just in our mind, we are doing that to ourselves. And so if you speak your truth and put it on a piece of paper and say, this is, so they had you categorize, where trauma happened in your life, and they went from childhood to adulthood to present, all this stuff. And it's like, and they said, you don't have to go into details if you don't want to, but here's some of the questions to look at, blah blah blah. And so I did it, and I was like, wow, that's crazy, because there's a lot on my list. And I just like really went deep, but then I didn't want to share it.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I don't want to share it. Just getting it on the paper is good enough for me. But I was like, I guess the power of word is, pretty powerful. It's pretty powerful. And when you live in chronic pain, you have to identify, supposedly, I'm still learning, you have to identify where the pain started. And for me, it was emotional pain as a child, and it just, got bigger and bigger and bigger. And now it's physical pain. And I try not to be emotional because I have a happy life, but things trigger that emotion. And I don't know. So anyway, it goes to our mindset is where we went off track a little bit, but it's all in the mindset, right? And so what we have taught ourselves over our years is how we handle things like New Year's resolutions.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have, unfortunately, in my mind, never felt like I fulfilled everything I always wanted to fulfill. And so this would be another thing that would be added to it. And I don't want any part of adding any more to it. I've had enough of that. No more adding to that list. So it's like motivation is key with anything in life, right? The more you put into it, the more you get out of it, and so forth. And so if you are going to make a resolution and you don't stick to it, then you don't stick to it. There's no shame in picking it back up. Like you can go,
Yeah.
I did it for the first
Well,
2
you didn't
weeks.
do it that day, so you can never do it again.
Yeah, there's absolutely no shame. We're
What do you
human.
think about that? I think
Like,
that's one of the reasons why I never made one was because, well, I mean, I've tried maybe a couple of years or something. I said, okay, I'm going to do whatever.
yeah.
But I think it's the fear of failure.
Yeah.
It's like if I don't make one, then I won't break one.
Yeah, they say 92% of people make their resolutions will simply lose their excitement for it. Just
Yeah.
like, nah,
Yeah.
it's not worth it. And, I'm too busy, whatever. So here's the funny part. Watch out for Fridays. Fridays is the day most people quit their resolution. Makes sense?
Yeah.
Right? And then
come in, I'm going to drink. No.
Amen.
I'm going to drink, I'm going to eat, I'm going to do the unmentionable, all those things.
Remember when we were, having our night out to get away, and it would be like, I don't care. This is our off day. We get to, do whatever. Come home at 3, 4, 5 in the morning, be in our jammies where the kids have their spread of food all over the table and we're watching Gone with the Wind. It's like you just make this. I don't care. I'm falling off the wagon today. We're going, not that we were ever on like any big wagon, but we're going to party out in Syracuse. So that was our mom's night out. But there is the second Friday of the month is known as Quitter's Day. I have no idea why the second Friday, but the second Friday is literally, it's a day. It's a thing. Quitter's Day. Isn't that hilarious?
Yeah.
Yeah. So 43% of goal setters have forgotten their resolutions by February. So let's talk about it. Do we even need resolutions? Who would like to share their thoughts about this age-old tradition? We have a couple people online. Say hi, everybody, and tell us your fascinating or unique perspective on New Year's resolutions. Any stories you might want to share that you've done and have fulfilled
or not done,
or have not done and always wanted to do, or have failed by the second Friday.
And maybe are glad you didn't do
it. Yeah. Or like they say, thank God for unanswered prayers. So let's see, we got no comments there. So we are, in the new year. I'm just hoping for peace amongst everyone. I don't want to go into that political year that we might be heading into. And I don't want any more COVID sicknesses. And I just want everybody to be happy. Right? There's hope for us all. There's hope for us all. And these New Year's resolution statistics gave you some more information on that topic. It seems like the majority of us don't really stick to them. And they're just something fun to say at the beginning of the year. You're hopeful, you want the change, but life happens and we all slip up. But like they say, you don't have to stay falling down. You can get yourself right back up and do it again if you want. Yep. We can improve our finances and our mental health and make new connections. We can do all kinds of fun projects for the year. And we don't have to put the pressure on that it's a New Year's resolution, that it must be done. It should just be do whatever you want to do when you can. Yeah. Wish you all good luck and good fortune and good health. Right? Don't you agree?
Cheers.
Cheers with my tea.
Cheers with my tea.
The tea is making me hotter in this sweatbox of a room.
My tea's getting colder in this freezing room.
God, I can't even believe it's so hot in here. Trevor was complaining. Everybody complains and sleeps in here. That's very, very hot. Anyway, this was a short chat, everybody. I'm so glad you stopped. And if you watch it on replay, tell us hashtag replay and share your resolutions because we'll still comment on them and we'll have fun with them. But as we wrap up, we want to extend our heartfelt blessings and support to each and every one of you, our fantastic listeners. Whether you're resolving to conquer mountains or just get through the day, know that you're not alone and you're in good company. We are here for you to embrace
Right,
the journey.
you're in company.
We're in your company. We cheer you on from the sidelines. Go, go, go. Embrace the journey. May this year bring you joy, growth, and a few well-earned victories.
And I love the peace and health, please.
Please.
Let's get rid of all these bugs
all.
out there.
Yes, we want nothing more than that. So if you want to check us out, we do girlfriend chats every first.
The second Friday of every month. No.
The first and third Tuesday of every month. And we were off during the holidays, but we're back at it. So I will bring you another conversation the beginning of February. We'll have to work on a topic for that one.
And hopefully we'll have more hosts, people.
Yes, everyone's so busy.
Anybody can be a host.
Anybody, just pop in and say hi. So, if you have topics you'd like to share and talk about or business that you love to chat about, just feel free to reach out to us and I will get you in on one of the chats. So, but for now, we are just going to log off. I got to go make chicken parm for dinner.
And I'm going to pet the pooch and lay down.
Yes, and you're going to get ready for bed because I'm 3 hours behind. Okay, everyone. Well, Happy New Year. Bye for now. See you next time.
Love you, Tim.
Love you too.
Bye, everyone.